Welcome to Making It Work. We're looking at making another camera mount since the one I made before I don't like. It squeaks, it makes noises. So I thought I would go ahead and make a new one. My wife and I went on our trip and last week and finally found a cutting board made of polypropylene and I cut the handle off because I'm not going to need it. And actually I'm going to make a new camera bracket. It's not going to look like this, obviously. It's going to look different. I'm going to make a whole different design. But this is the one I made out of cedar just so that we would have something. But I don't want to use it. It's too squeaky and too noisy. So what I'm going to do is, out of this piece of plastic, I am going to make this design. I'm going to highlight it in ink, so maybe this is what it looks like right now. It's got that curve on it and over. That's kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to end up coming in, cutting that off. I'm going to cut the 3 holes right here that'll fit down inside of, and then I'm going to drill out a hole in the back for this rod that I actually picked up at the dump. Believe it or not, I thought it was copper because it was the coloring, but it was copper coated. And that'll stick out the back so that I can control the arm up and down. So that's what it's going to look like if you were to put that right there. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is going to set up for doing a drill. I'm going to drill on both of these here and then come in with a saw or something and cut in between them. So I'll be right back. Alright. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drill those holes in that on either end of that so that this will actually sit down inside of there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's just the part from the actual tripod that will sit down in there. So I'm going to drill each of those holes out and then I'll work all the way across it. Okay, I got the holes drilled out. I don't know if you can actually see this. Let me put something behind here. Got the holes drilled out in there. Now I'm going to clean them out so that I can use it. I'm going to use a file to do that, and it shouldn't take just a few swipes with a file because I'm really just cleaning up. This isn't for anything specifically that you're going to see in the public. Probably never see something like this in public, but I'm just cleaning it out, making it straight, get all those burrs off. First thing I'm going to do is drill a hole in the side for the bolt that will hold this in its place. And it'll go through here, through there, and it'll be able to stay on the tripod. So I'm going to get this out of the way. This is the bolt size, and I want it to be tight in the polypropylene, so when I put this in, I want that to be snug. So I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller than the actual bolt size, and get that up in there. What I'm going to use is a clamp to drill the hole because it can hold this straight and it'll be square with my board here. And if you don't have some of these clamps, I highly recommend them. They're extremely versatile. Alright, here we go. Let's see what happens. I usually like to drill a pilot hole first, especially in wood, make a smaller hole and then come back in. But since this is, we didn't go all the way through, so I'll bring that up just a little higher and then run it through again. Actually, I'll just do it this way. Then run it through again. There we go. I know it came through that time. And always make sure you tighten up your clamp. So now, the hole is all the way through. Each one of these, I'll put it over here in the light. You can see it went through the center here. Hit my camera person. And you can see the hole right here come out there. Now, that'll actually be for this bolt. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. That doesn't always happen with me, so that. Alright, so now the next hole I'm going to make the one on the end here. And this one doesn't have to be all that long, all that deep. And it really doesn't even have to be all that square or nothing like that. It just has to be effective. It's going to be going in like that. I'm going to clamp this down really tight this time. Alright, I need a different drill bit. So I'll use this one. There we go. This is the drill bit that I chose for this one here, and it's going to be just a bit small, which is going to be okay because I'm going to heat up this. It's got the threads on it. I'm going to heat this up, not a lot, just heat it up enough, and then let it create its own threads inside there. I could get out my taps and do it too, which I might think about while I'm doing this. Well, it all depends on whether or not if I'm out of gas on my torch. But alright, so we'll load that up. And I don't really have to go that far. As you can see, the threads are only to here. And this isn't going to have a lot of force pushed against it. So if I can get it perfect in the middle, then we'll be good to go. And we will see if I can get this on here. Okay. Alright, let's see what happens. Probably go a little bit extra just to make sure. Let's see how deep we've gone here. Use a drill bit as a gauge. We're going that deep. Maybe I'll go a little further. I don't know, maybe I might be able to just screw that right into there. You can see the hole now without having to get it hot. Yeah, I think I'm going to be able to. I'd hate to do it and break it though. That would be kind of a bummer. Let's see if I can spin this somehow. Grab me a pair of pliers, vice grips. If you can't go big, can't go at all. Alright. And it might be better if I heat it. Well, I've got another piece just in case. Let's start all over. Yeah, I think that a little more loose on that. Alright. So, let's see if it'll cut its own threads. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. It's gonna spread everything out, so I'd rather heat it up. Alright, now I'll go ahead and cut the last hole that I'm gonna make. And that's gonna be right here, and that's where the camera is actually gonna be screwed and sitting upon. So I'll get that clamped again. And make it a little further on that. So I can hold it square. And there we go. I'll put this underneath it. Make sure I get a good. Now I've got to change out the drill bit because that's important. I don't want to be drilling the wrong size hole. I'm going to be putting this one in. And if you notice, it's got two different types of threads. It's got the more of a machine thread or a bolt thread here, and this is usually used to tighten up in wood or plastic like what I'm doing now. Alright, so let's see if I can get this all in there. This one I'm going to go all the way through. I don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. And I did not mark the center on here. Let me show you really quick how to find center. I'm basically just going to create a line across here. Right now I don't really care what this looks like because I can come back and clean it up. So I'm going to just draw a straight line across here. Then take a line and go use geometry. Go across here and then across here, and there's my center, and that's where I'll drill. Okay, here we go. Okay, that part of it's all done. We'll go back over to the workbench and start assembly. Okay, we're back at the bench. We've got this hole drilled, these three drilled, this one drilled, which you probably can't see because it's so light, and then the big one drilled. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tap this one here. So, because I didn't have any propane, and it should just tap real nice and easy for me. Polypropylene, so it'll be no problem at all cutting threads on it. If it's the wrong thread, you may never know. I may. Alright, let's see how that actually came out. Oh, look at there. See? Okay, guys out there, and ladies maybe, going to the dump isn't the worst thing in the world. So guys, take the trash and look around for treasure. Alright? So now, I'm going to mount the camera screw, and what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to have to get a pliers to do this because this has got some odd threads. It's got some really big threads and small threads together, and let's see if I can just use this wing nut. Oh, that fit too. That's not even going to go on there, but it fit anyway. It gives me some leverage. Alright, that's just going right in. Look at there. Now just, as my fingers can't hold that. And that's tight. Now I'll back that off. And I'll show it to you here in just a second. Alright, now you can see that's screwed in good. Oh, I lucked out. It's just barely sticking out the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, and on the bottom side of all your cameras, you've got where this screws in, there's a pin that is usually right here that I may just have something I can pop up so the camera doesn't rotate, or I'll just put a rubber washer on there, probably a rubber washer. And then this mounts right inside of here, and I just happen to get the holes lined up. And this will screw right in through there. If I had a screwdriver on my drill, matter of fact, I just happen to have nothing available. So I'll just get a regular screwdriver out of my toolbox. and I'll screw it in. I should have been prepared with a drill. You know what? I still may do that anyway. I may get my box fixed. There we go. Oh, I just dropped something. All right. That's much better. I guess at this point I really wouldn't have to put this nut on here, but I'm going to anyway. Wing nut. Now you can see I can actually, with it hooked to the tripod, which is actually where that hooks to, I can tip the camera up and down from the handle and not have to be holding the camera. I'm going to come back and maybe clean this up a little bit, do things, and then that's it. Use what you got to make it work. Gee, that's what we're doing here. We're making it happen. Take care. Bye. For those of you who are wondering how this actually came out, this is what it looks like. So you can tip it with the camera on there up and down, and of course, you know, let me rotate this around so you can actually see it from the other side. You can see I rounded out the corners all the way around to match, and that's what it looks like. All right.